You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about the National Basketball Association. More specifically, Adam Silver lying through his freaking teeth. What are you doing? The NBA commissioner can't veto a trade. I can't stop a trade. What are you talking about? Oh, Lord. The NBA playoffs are about to start. Adam Silver was on today with Pat McAfee on his show. There's a clip. I'm going to show it to you. All right. NBA fans are running amok with boots to ass on Adam Silver right now. These comments he's making is getting massive backlash. Now, guys, we all know the trade that was, right? The trade, Luka Doncic right now with the Lakers, 28.2 points a game, 35 minutes, 28 games. Do I even need to show you Anthony Davis? Seriously? I don't think so. Nine games played, 20 points a game. He dropped over 5 points a game after getting traded. Never mind talking about how oft injured he is. I mean, honestly, you got one guy that's 32 years old. You got another guy that's 26, dead in the middle of his prime. It was a lopsided BS trade that many of us believe the NBA helped orchestrate. In fact, it's my belief, and I can speculate, that he stepped in and was like, maybe they were going to trade Luka somewhere else, and he said, nah, he needs to go to a big market team. How about the Lakers? Well, maybe that didn't happen. Maybe he just said, send him to the Lakers. No influence whatsoever. Let's listen to the comments, and then we'll look at the comments from fans calling him on his BS.
When do you get a heads up that Luka is getting traded to the Los Angeles Lakers and AD's getting traded to Dallas? And what were your thoughts on it as a whole, Commish?
Yeah, so first, just to clarify, I don't, or the commissioner doesn't have the right to block a trade other than a trade not conforming to our rules. So, okay. and you alluded to David Stern once blocked a trade, but I get how confusing it was to.
All right, let's stop right there. David Stern in 2011, then NBA commissioner and acting as the owner of the Hornets, vetoed a proposed trade that would have sent Chris Paul to the Lakers. This decision sparked controversy and is still discussed as a significant event in NBA history.
Fans, but he was both the commissioner and the acting owner of the New Orleans franchise at the time.
Got it.
And so a trade was recommended to him by the general manager, and he turned down that trade based on what he thought was in the best interest.
Convenient.
Of that franchise.
As an owner, not as the commissioner. He turned down the trade as the owner, not as the commissioner.
Exactly. And by the way, I learned my lesson because in that interim period when we were running the Los Angeles Clippers, a guy named Dick Parsons came in, and he was the interim governor. And I, of course, had been here when David turned down that trade. And I said, Dick, you are the owner of that team. You will decide what trades to make or not make, not me. So there's absolutely no confusion. But in this situation, with Luka, I learned, the league office learns a little bit ahead of the public because to the point of leagues approving trades, it's kind of like a closing at a house. Both teams have to be on the phone. The lawyers and the basketball folks at the league office have to make sure that the contracts match, that the team indeed does have the cap room to make the trade, that it complies with our rules. So I learned when they called the trade into the league office. And again, so I don't really have a role in that process other than if there's somehow a dispute as to the mechanism of the trade. You know, in terms of the trade itself, look, it's obvious time will tell. The only place where I feel defensive on behalf of the Dallas Mavericks and new ownership there is there were some suggestions early on that the trade wasn't done for basketball reasons, that somehow new owner didn't want to pay a maximum salary or was focused on building a real estate development or something else. The only thing I can say, and I feel very confident in this, knowing Patrick Dumont, who's the governor of the team, and the people involved, they believed that they were making the best trade on behalf of the Dallas Mavericks. Whether that turns out to be true, again, only time will tell.
Okay, so, and by the way, a lot of people's theory is that he was hoping this would cause a ratings bump in the NBA. It did for about 10 days, maybe, after it happened, the fallout. Dallas Mavericks fans are literally in the pit of hell right now. So, as you can imagine, NBA fans answered this like crazy. So, why did David Stern block the CP3 trade to the Lakers? Then why the F didn't we get Kobe and Chris Paul? Chris Paul. I mean, my God. I don't believe him. I believe he got wind of Dallas trying to trade Luka, and he told Dallas, you're not going to trade him to a small market. Basically made us trade him to L.A. So maybe the Mavericks were going to trade Luka no matter what, but he didn't like the destination. League has a whole storyline they can profit off of. He's lying. Once again, David Stern blocked the CP3 trade. The NBA literally blocked the Chris Paul trade. David Stern blocked a trade. I mean, it's woo-wee. I mean, honestly, it's that stupid lying to stupid. Bo Silver and Pat must have been briefly dead when the CP3 trade was nixed. That is all the way down through there. Where was this energy when they vetoed the Chris Paul to Lakers trade? Tell it to Chris Paul. It's my God, yeah. Look, for the record, David Stern was the GOAT of sports commissioners. I mean, honestly, he was. Some of that political crap that the NBA got into, nah, David Stern wouldn't have put up with that crap. He would not have waded into those waters. He knew better. I mean, honestly. Look, if the roles were reversed and Luka was leaving a big market, LA, best believe the league was going to step in. That's a great point. If it was the other way around, you're trying to tell us the NBA wouldn't have stepped in and been like, the hell you will. They'd have been like, is he being traded to the Knicks or the Celtics? Because outside of those two teams, really and truly, and some could argue these days, just the Lakers are the only ones that still pull like that. I'm a Celtics fan. I mean, I'd like to think the Celtics do, but, you know, if this is true, then Dallas is actually retarded. Well, look, nobody's giving that general manager a pass either. Wow, it's unbelievable. It really is. It just go right out there. The NBA has done some things to try, at least from the political standpoint, to get out of things, but there's still a laundry list of crap wrong with this league right now, and him and LeBron are 50-50 in the bullshit of why this league and the league's ratings are where they are. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.